Okay, let me give you the best advice of your life. Stop making yourself smaller to make others feel comfortable around you. You are dimming your light that way, or worse, you're not letting yourself shine at all. Like, look, I'm turning the tree off now. It's off. Now it's standing here in a living room, but it's clearly missing something. What is it missing? Oh, yeah, right, the light. Better, isn't it? Lesson number 1. Be like a Christmas tree. Shine bright. Stop being humble and nice and making yourself small to not offend anyone or not cause any discomfort for anyone. It is harmful to you because you're not letting yourself to be yourself, and instead you're making yourself comfortable for others. Like a really nice doormat where others step on with their dirty shoes. I used to make myself smaller for others because I didn't want anyone else to be jealous or uncomfortable around me, until I realized that that kind of approach is not going to give me my dream life, and it's holding me back from realizing my true potential. And in this video, I'm going to share with you what have I learned and how you can gain the confidence to be the best you, wherever, with whoever. Lesson number 2, be humble, but don't dim your light. So when I was younger, I used to shrink myself in many situations. For example, I remember when we were training, when I was younger, I used to dance in a group and we were training for like the end show, and our teacher would ask who wants to do some special thing. The special thing could be opening the show, which means that you would have like 10 seconds completely for yourself, your own spotlight. Or it could be something like who wants to be lifted in some nice thing. I don't know the English word, but I think you get what I mean. Or even so simple as standing in the first row. So something where you get to be a bit in a spotlight. So the teacher would ask who wants to do it. And I'm quite positive that every dancer wants a spotlight. But not every dancer is gonna say that. So I was the dancer who wanted it very much, but didn't say about it. So every time when the teacher asked that, I had this burning feeling inside of me. I want it. I want to do it. I want to be in the first row. I want to be lifted. I want to have the first 10 seconds for myself. But the thing is that I never lifted my hand. I never said about it. So the teacher has no freaking clue what do I want. So instead of picking myself from the crowd, I waited for the teacher to see me, to finally see me and finally pick me. But that's not how it works. I always waited for the teacher to pick me. But since I didn't show really much enthusiasm, obviously she never did. Or maybe sometimes, but not like as often as I would want it to. So instead of picking myself, I waited that someone else will do it for me. And the thing about this is also that I wasn't raising my hand because I was afraid to do so. I wasn't raising my hand because I didn't want to come off as arrogant, self-promotive, full of myself, and this kind of girl. So do you get what I was doing? I was shrinking myself to not upset anyone else. But that is so harmful for your self-development and growing into your fullest potential, because you're literally putting down your light, which is supposed to shine bright. So you gotta be your own hype girl or guy. You gotta pick yourself first. No one else is going to do it for you. You gotta be there for yourself. No one is gonna come and pick you out of your bed and be like, go chase your dreams. Unless you of course pay for them, but unless you pay them, they're not gonna do it. So next time when someone, whether it's your mom, your dog, your friend, your teacher, your manager, stranger, whoever, asks who could do this, who wants to do this X thing, and you get this burning feeling that you want to do it, say that you can. Raise your hand, suggest yourself, choose yourself from the crowd, because no one else is going to do that for you. Do not wait for them to notice you. Lesson number 3, be like a light bulb that lights up the room without leaving anyone in the darkness. Other thing that's really hard for people, and I bet for many people, I bet 99% of people have this, is talking about yourself. Talking about your strengths, your qualities, and what you're good at. If you do that, society tends to consider that as self-promotion and that you're full of yourself. But it shouldn't be that way. It's quite destructive to never talk about yourself in a good light in front of other people. And I feel that's also partly what causes this pandemic of I don't know who I am and I don't know what I want to do, but that's another story. I also used to feel extremely uncomfortable about talking about myself and what I'm good at. I consider that if I say that I'm good at this and I'm good at that and I can do this and that and la di la di la, that others will think that I'm full of myself. So what I did instead is that I again waited that someday someone will see that I'm good at doing whatever I was doing. First of all, who gives an F? What who thinks of me or you? Duh. Life is too short worrying about what others might think, because it's totally normal to choose yourself and suggest yourself. If somebody finds it offending, it's only because they are upset with the fact that they cannot choose themselves, they cannot suggest themselves the way you just did. I've also made a better video on how to not care what other people think of you and how to remain unbothered. I will link the video up here and down in the description. If you need some tips on how to really not care what other people think of you and become unbothered, I really recommend you watching that video after this video, because we still have a lot to talk about in this one. Okay, and second of all, waiting that somebody else will bring up your strengths and qualities, whether it's at work, in school, with your friends, at your hobby, is also something I want you to stop doing. Yes, just imagine. How high are your chances when you're sitting in a meeting at your work and your manager says, I need somebody to do this X task. And the task is something like, it's a really nice task. It's like a premium task, so to say. It's something that everybody would want to do. And your manager asked who wants to do it. Do you think that your colleague will be like, hey, she can do it. She's super good at that. She's exactly the best from our team to do that task? Of course not. If they're going to suggest someone, they're only going to suggest themselves. You need to pick you from the crowd yourself. Repeating that again. And you are also the person who needs to tell about your strengths and your qualities to others. Because the fact is that this is how it works. You create the expectation about yourself. You kind of create your own branding, so to say. I know, let me explain. When you say someone that you suck at something, that you really suck at doing, I don't know, let's say you really suck at being creative. That's exactly how they will perceive you. So if they would have a need for someone creative, they will not think of you. If they will think of you, they will be like, oh yeah, she said that she sucks at this. Let's not ask her. Whereas if you say to somebody that I'm good at this, you already create the positive expectation about yourself or that skill, quality, or strength. And someone might even think of you when in need. It's totally okay to talk about your strengths and qualities. It's not only good for your mental health, but it's also beneficial for your self-awareness and in general just happy and fulfilled life. And I'm not saying that you need to be going around and screaming that you're the best and everyone else sucks. No, because that would actually be that self-centered, toxic self-promotion. Something else that we also need to stop doing is getting offended when someone starts to talk positively in a good light about themselves. Let's please create this safe space for everyone to shine in their own way, shall we? Next time when someone starts talking about themselves in a good light, instead of getting offended and thinking, who TF does she think she is promoting herself like that? Think, cool, she's doing a service to herself and others as well, and that's totally okay, because I can actually do the same. Talk about yourself, tell other people who you are and what makes you you, and give other people also the space to do it. By bringing ourselves up, also let's not bring anyone else down. Be like a light bulb that lights up the room without leaving anyone else in the darkness. And of course I know it's hard to start talking about yourself and your qualities and your strengths just like that, especially if you're someone super humble. But it gets easier and easier the more you do it, and eventually it will come naturally to you. It's like a muscle you need to train, and the way you can train it is to start talking about your qualities and strengths out loud to other people. So next time when you find yourself waiting for someone to finally see your qualities and your strengths, stop waiting. Don't wait. Instead, suggest yourself. Say, I can do this. Practice saying these out loud. I can and I'm good at. Also, practice these words. Me, my, and myself. These are like these words that are like so avoided. If you want to take this practice to the next level, you can also practice saying these words in front of a mirror. Especially these I am good at, I can, me, my, myself. So instead of silently writing inside of your notebook that you're good at something, for example, I'm creative and I'm good at design, say it out loud. Go in front of a mirror, and next time, whether it's at school, at work, with your friends, at your hobby, don't be shy and start talking about yourself. And by the way, at this point, before we continue, just quickly, I would appreciate it a lot if you would give this video a thumbs up if you have found this video valuable. And also, if you feel like you're vibing with my content, please consider subscribing to my channel. Okay, I said what I had to say, and now we move on. Lesson number 3. Who the fuck doesn't like Christmas trees? Another example, which I'm sure is relatable for many, is shrinking yourself in a group. Like deep down, you know, you could be more, you could give more. You're holding yourself back a bit, like you're just not being 100% yourself, because you're low-key worried that if you will be 100% the shining star you are, someone will get uncomfortable. But that is not your worry. That's not something you should be worried about. I know it's the people pleaser in you who's worried about these things, whether everyone is comfortable and having a good time, but the people pleaser in you is doing it on your expense. All you really should be worried about whether you are having a good time. And if someone gets offended of you being you, well then, my dear, it's their problem. People who are your people will never get offended by your shine. Like for example, I'm not offended by this Christmas tree lighting and decorating this room. Completely the opposite. I am pleased to see the beauty and shine of this Christmas tree. Same as your people should be happy to see you shine and to see you win. So the question is, who the fuck doesn't like Christmas trees? Well, it's exactly the same people who get offended by your shine. Now, how do you stop shrinking yourself in a group of people? Well, very simple. Watch this video, how to stop people pleasing the right way, after this video. Because shrinking yourself in a group is a form of people pleasing, and that video is an ultimate guide on how to quit people pleasing the right way. And here's also something you really need to know. If you decide to allow yourself to shine in your true colors, don't be surprised if other people don't take it so well. Don't be surprised if someone even exits your life. But believe me, if you decide to let yourself shine in as many watts as you have, whether it's 2 watts, 5 watts, or 10 watts, as long as you're using all you have, and no, don't mind saving electricity on yourself, you will attract the right people in your life who will allow you to shine as bright as you can without seeing it as a threat. And by the way, I'm not saying that you're supposed to become a rude, selfish, and narcissistic person. All I'm saying is that you should let yourself to be yourself. Get comfortable with choosing yourself from a crowd and suggesting yourself when you know you will be the best fit. And I'm also saying to give room for others to do so as well. I'm not encouraging toxic self-promotion, which takes others down. As you guys who have been watching me already for longer, you know that I'm all about healthy relationship with yourself and others. I don't stand for narcissistic and individualistic values. I stand for being the best you for yourself and others. Okay, let's recap on the exercises. The exercise on how to start picking you from the crowd yourself is in lesson number 2 at this minute. And the exercise on how to start suggesting yourself is in a lesson number 3. Yes, lesson number 3 at this minute. And the exercise on how to shine bright in a group of people is in the lesson number 4 at this minute. And I also know that a lot of the things that I mentioned in this video require a lot of self-confidence, not caring what other people think, self-esteem, and so on. But luckily, I've got you covered. I have many different videos on gaining confidence in yourself, skyrocketing your self-esteem, not giving an F what other people think of you, and becoming unbothered, and many others. So I've created a playlist, and I call the playlist Become Hot, Happy, and Healed, and I'm gonna attach it right here so you can check it out. Thank you so much for watching, and I see you in the next one. Bye bye.